the most extreme example of experience learning, I guess. When I first started driving, I really struggled. I think I wasn't even sure where I could learn to drive initially. It seemed okay to learn to drive, I guess. I'm not saying that. I guess learn enough about how to learn to drive to pass the driving test was what I'm thinking of. It just seemed like an insurmountable thing. It's only now when I realise it's experience based, I wondered now that I've learned, I wonder if I'd find it easier, because I know why it's more difficult. When I was learning to drive, I didn't really know why. I just thought I couldn't remember some of the things. And you think, well, what can't you remember? This is a pretty good example. I'm sat in the car now driving. If you said to me where the controls are, I really have to look at the controls to know where they all are. Some of them are obvious, okay, I know where the indicator stops and the lights and things are. But if you told me whereabouts, I have to actually look a little bit. It's not like I can just know. If someone said outside of the car, right, draw a picture where the instrument panel is, the cockpit, all the controls go, can you draw that? I probably couldn't. I could have a go at it, but it wouldn't be correct to the extent of what the car looked like. And that just typifies how much of it is not available in my mind in real time. But in terms of accessing it, but in terms of I have to see observationally what's happening. So I thought, why not record this in the car? It's a bit different, but I thought it gives you a good example of why it is so different for me. But now I find driving really easy. I suppose I've been driving, I don't know, 20 years now, plus probably 30 years. So now I find it easy and I don't really have to think about it. But there, I get the other side of the equation, which is because of the aphantasia, I'm not storing any of the imagery. So for the journey you just watched, I don't actually store any of that information. It's all disappearing as I'm seeing it. It's not being recorded, which I guess may make it easier to drive for some people. Like me, I don't have to think about what I just did. I know I follow the rules as I go along, and I just forget it after it's occurred. So it does make it quite interesting, really, now I think about it. But it's not really something I've thought about before. It's only now, since understanding aphantasia, that I understand more about the experience side of things and how much difference it makes. But the driving ones are really, I think it is a good example, and I wonder if people with aphantasia have had similar examples in terms of learning experience-based stuff. Especially things like driving, because there's so much to learn as you go along, and it's not something you can really do in one go. You have to drive, you have to practice, you have to do various things, you have to learn the rules as you go along, do various things. What does this bit do? How to park, how to drive on motorways or main roads when it's dual carriageways. There's lots of things that are really different, which mean you have to think about in a way that you only do when you're driving.